In chapter 7, verse 191, it says that the mushrikeen is the one who worship the one who create nothing. The one who worship the one who create nothing. And this is what it says in this verse, as we see. Do they indeed ascribe to him as partners things that can create nothing, but are they themselves created? So the Muslim is a mushrik. If he create a god, he cannot be a creator or the creator. But the Quran says that Jesus is creator. You know, if we go to chapter 3, verse number 49, it says in here that Jesus can create from the figure of a clay a living bird. He breathed into it and is going to be alive. The Muslim, they say to you, this is by the leave of Allah. It doesn't matter. He became a creator because it says, I create, I make. Jesus talking, saying, I make for you, and I breathe into it, and I make you out of a clay, a figure of a bird. This is all is the made of Allah. If Allah give him a leave, permission to do that, it doesn't change anything. If you give me permission to drive the car or not, still I can't drive the car. So therefore Jesus is the creator, and the Quran says clearly that the shirk is the one who worships someone. He is not a creator. Same story can be found chapter 25 verse number 3. It says, do they worship someone he cannot create anything? You know, like, do really do that? Here we go, chapter 25 verse number 3 again. So to be in the right faith is if you worship a creator in Islam, and the Quran says that Jesus is the creator. And again, we as a Christian, we don't worship three gods, we worship one. The Muslims actually, who do not know even who they are God, they refuse God to be a man, but their God is a leg. They refuse God to have a body, but their God have a body. He have a hand, he have an ass, he have a back, he have a front, he have a face, he have a back of his head, he have ears, he have a tongue, he have lips. So all of those is not a problem for the Muslims, but they say to you, Allah cannot be a man. And you know, as long as I'm talking about this, I want to remind people of something very important. When a Muslim, he says Allah cannot be a man, it means Allah cannot be God too. Because the God who cannot be something he wants to be, it means he cannot be God too. Because if God is all powerful, it means God, he can be whatever he wants. Either God, he is capable of everything, or God, he is capable of nothing. And the God who you can say that he can do things and he cannot do other things, it's me really, he is the same as me. And I will explain to you now, like we answered the first topic, but now I will explain to you something very important. Prove to us that the God of Islam is a false ideology, false, made up by Muhammad. He does not exist, he is a joke. Let us go and see something will prove to us that the God of Islam is very false. And by the way, this is the image of my coming book. It's called The Deception of Allah. It's going to be, I hope, by the end of this month ready. Actually, not by the end, but in the beginning of the coming month, it's going to be ready for people to have it. It's volume number 1, and volume number 2 is going to be printed later. You can give it as a gift for your friends. It's a book full of information you never heard before. And the Muslim themselves, I advise them to have it, because you will be shocked. You will learn things you never saw, heard, ever about your religion. And all with the proofs, reference, page numbers, and all from your books, not from Christian books. Now, let us go and show you how stupid the idea of Islam and why it's a joke for me. Let us go and see. Chapter 6, verse 101, and chapter 72, verse number 3. To him do the primeval origin of the heaven and the earth. How can he have a son when he has no consort? It's a disaster. The reason it's a disaster, because what the Quran is saying to us, Allah, he can have a son if he have a consort. And by the way, in Arabic it's sahiba, which means girlfriend. It's very funny logic that God, he asked us to get married, not to have girlfriend, but he himself, when he speak about having kids, He speaks about having girlfriend, not a wife. So how can he, how can, so Allah cannot because he don't have a girlfriend, but he can if he have a girlfriend. So he's the same as me, because I am the same. I'm a man. I cannot have a son unless I have a woman. So Allah and me is the same, because if Allah is all powerful, he should be able to have a son without girlfriend, because isn't he the creator? Can't he find a solution? So he cannot, because he's saying, how can he, how can he? This is the logic of Muslims, and this is the logic of Allah. How can he have a son if you don't have a girlfriend? So if you found him as a wife, he will have a girlfriend. And the God who cannot do something without a woman, so to have a son, he is the same as any man of us, therefore he cannot be God. Time is up. Christ is Lord. Islam is false. And see you soon.